This is why you never go to the well on your own. In 1983, a young boy was camping with his family on Roan Mountain in North Carolina when his mom asked him to head on down the path and get some water from the well. When the boy didn't return, his mom went to check on him and he was gone. A massive search party was launched to find him, but with temperatures rapidly dropping and finding no trace of him, the family braced for the worst. Then, miraculously, on the 7th day of the search, the boy shows up on the mountaintop in an area they had already searched, healthy and clean. When they asked the boy, "Where have you been?" he said he had been at the well when a tall, faceless man showed up behind him, scooped him up, and brought him to the top of the mountain where he kept him in his cabin all week. After the boy gave a very detailed description of exactly where this cabin was on the mountain, the police were eager to go find it and confront this guy.
Okay, so this is one of the most insane catfishing stories that I've ever told. About a year ago, I became friends with a girl. We'll call her Mary. Mary and I hit it off really well. We instantly vibed and became best friends. She always talked about this guy that she was dating named Justin, and they sounded like they had a pretty good relationship. One day, she told me that Justin actually had a really good friend who was good looking and kind of wanted to meet me. So of course, I was excited and I told her to give him my number. I got both his number and a Snapchat, and dang, he was cute. We messaged all of the time, literally for 3 weeks straight, nonstop. I was dying to meet him in person, but anytime we had plans, something always came up or he had some sort of excuse. I found out that he was snapping some other girls, so I just thought maybe he wasn't that into me. But when he talked to me, he acted like he really wanted to be my boyfriend. Not too long before we were supposed to meet though, he told me he had feelings for my friend Mary, which hurt a lot. I had a group message with him, Justin, and Mary on it. That's when I noticed a pattern. Y'all are not ready for what happened next. Follow and share and I'll do a part 2. Okay guys, so here's part 2. The pattern that I noticed is that none of them would text me at the same time. It was either Justin or Mary or the guy that I was talking to, and his story would continuously change. He said that him and Mary had talked before, and now he has feelings for her again. It just seems so out of the blue. But he tried to make it seem like it was okay because Justin now had feelings for me. I was just done at this point and I went to the internet to go super sleuth, so I typed his first name and his last name into Google. His name pulled up an Instagram with the exact guy who had been messaging me, who already had a girlfriend. And it looked like they had been dating for a long time. So I put it all together and I realized it was Mary playing both the guy that I was talking to and Justin, and taking pictures off of their social media. I contacted the real guy and his girlfriend, and we all decided to go confront Mary. And she straight up denied everything. It wasn't until later that she hit me up out of the blue and apologized for it. I honestly realized half the things she told me were untrue. So please be careful about who you let into your life.
Okay, sir, so your total today is going to be $406.71. Is that going to be it for you, or did you need anything else? No, baby, that's going to be it. I do have a gift card here I'd like to use. It should cover the whole thing, okay? Okay, this is a gift card for Kroger. So, this is not a Kroger. Yeah, baby, I'm not blind. I can see that. But they said I could use it at any location, so I'm going to need you to finish me out, okay, sugar? Thank you. Yes, sir, you can use it at any Kroger location. We are not a Kroger, nor are we affiliated with Kroger in any way. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that for you, okay? Listen, baby. They did not say a Kroger location. They said any location. Is this a location or are we nowhere? So go ahead and finish me out. I guess welcome to the void, because you can't use that card here.
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1 year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
This is why you should never stay in sketchy motels. In 2005, a young woman on a solo road trip across the country decided to stop for the night. The first place she sees is the Mountaintop Motel. It looked pretty cheap, but she was tired, so she said good enough. The check-in guy eyed her up and down very uncomfortably and then asked her if she was traveling alone. She ignores the question, pays for her room, and then walks away with the key. When she gets inside her room and sees there are literally cockroaches in her bed, she says nope and decides to sleep in her car in the parking lot. Around 3 a.m., she wakes up to see the check-in guy using his own keys to get into the motel room she was supposed to be in. A few minutes later, he storms out and slams the door and starts walking towards her car. Terrified, she hides under her blanket as the man tries to open her car doors but can't and walks away. She speeds off and calls her friend and asks her to look up the address of Mountaintop Motel so she can give it to police. Her friend's quiet for a second and then just says, "The Mountaintop Motel closed a week ago."
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1-year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
If anyone here has ever had a moment of darkness and you've got past it, congratulations. And if anyone here hasn't, and I pray you never do, but if you do, it's gonna get better. I can guarantee you, people that you're rubbing shoulders with right now or walking past on the street feel exactly the same way. Don't keep it in. Write it down. Talk about it. And I can guarantee you, in a day or a week or a month, you'll read it and go, wow, I never want to feel like that again. You accept it, you deal with it, and you move on. And in your mind, start to tell yourself, I'm okay. I can do this.
This is why you should always sleep with your lights on. In 1991, a man named Christopher Case was found dead in his bathtub, fully clothed in the fetal position. When police interviewed his best friend Sammy, she told them about a very disturbing phone call she got from him the night before he died. On the call, he told her that the previous night he had woken up to what sounded like whispering coming from underneath his bed. When he went to look, he couldn't move. As he laid helplessly, he watched a black figure pull itself out from underneath his bed. Once it was fully upright, it reached down and began choking him until he passed out. The next morning when he came to, he felt his neck and it was swollen and bruised. And then he saw blood on his hands and he saw that there were deep, uniform incisions on each of his fingertips. As he's saying all this to Sammy and telling her how scared he is to go to bed that night, he suddenly stops and he says, "I hear whispering outside my room." Then the phone went dead.
The craziest thing I ever ate was rat.
Say again.
Rat.
Rat.
R-A-T. Rat.
Big one
Rat.
or small one?
It was pretty big.
Where?
In Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was on a stick. I thought it was chicken. It was delicious.
You didn't know?
It was $1 each stick, right? So I was like,
$1?
I was killing them. I was on my 4th stick, and they was like, "You like that a lot?" I was like, "Yeah, I love this." And they was like, "It's rat." I was like, "It's what?" And they was like, "It's rat." And I was like,
Too late.
Bring me one more stick.
She goes, "Hey, Daddy." She goes, "I want to have a lightsaber fight with you too, but I'm Darth Vader." And I said, "All right, a little weird you want to be on the dark side at this age, but choosing evil at 5 is a little concerning to a parent." I was like, "Whatever you want." My little girl is holding this red lightsaber twice the size of her body, and she's psyched she's doing what her older brother was doing with her dad. And we're just, going back and forth, and she cuts my leg off, and I'm hopping on one leg. Then she cuts my arm off that's holding the lightsaber. I drop the lightsaber. Now she's getting cocky. Then she cuts my other leg off, and I fall back on the couch because I don't have a choice now because I don't have any legs. And I said, "Oh, sweetie, you won. You just beat Daddy." And in the most adorable voice you people could ever imagine, she just goes, "Not yet," and put the shit to my throat and cut.
I'm at home, phone rings, it's a school nurse. She goes, "I have Isla in the office. Is there a parent at home?" I was like, "I'll do." gives the phone to Isla. Her first words, I tried to stop it, Dad. I go, stop what? She goes, I got my period. I'm like, bitch, you promised. I'm like, you called the wrong number, dickhead. Call your mom.
This is why you always say yes to tandoori chicken. In 2012, a high school tutor and her student stayed up so late one night studying that by the time they were done, the buses had stopped running. Without another way home, the student asked if he could stay the night at her place. Reluctantly, she agreed. When they got back to the apartment, she fell asleep on her bed and he fell asleep on a blanket next to her bed on the ground. A few hours later, she wakes up to the boy standing awkwardly in the middle of the room with a very strange look on his face. She asks him, what's wrong? He looks at her and says, I'm really hungry, let's go get some tandoori chicken. Confused, she says, it's 2 a.m., just get a snack in the cupboard. And he grabs her by the arm and he says, no, we are getting tandoori chicken right now. And he yanks her from the bed. Feeling totally caught off guard by this whole situation, she goes into the hall with the boy, and as soon as the door shuts behind them, she can tell that he is terrified. He looks at her and just says, I'm not actually hungry. When I woke up, there was someone under your bed. This is why you should always be scared of clowns. In 2004, a babysitter had just sat down to watch TV before the parents got back when she noticed something. In the corner of the room was a large clown statue that, no matter how she positioned herself, seemed like it was staring right at her. As she's looking at it, the father calls to check in on the kids. She tells him everything is fine, and right before they're about to hang up, she says, why do you have a huge clown statue in your TV room? There was silence on the phone, and then the father just says, we don't own a clown statue. She immediately drops the phone, runs upstairs, gets the kids, runs outside, calls the cops. Cops go in and come out with this guy. As the police are taking the clown away, one of the officers comes over to the girl and with a very grim look on his face just says, we found him underneath one of the kids' beds. He was holding a sharpened screwdriver.
Okay, so I haven't done a storytime / makeup routine video in a long time, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story today. I also partnered up with Essence Cosmetics with their new High Collection High Beauty. Every single one of these products contain organic hemp oil. And the packaging, girl, just look at it. Look, obsessed. All right, so today's story, let's take it on back to 2010. Using this powder, I went on like a family camping trip with my mom's friends and her daughters and stuff. And they were super religious, like uber religious. So this is when the Charlie challenge was a thing. And as you guessed it, we did the thing. Pencils are moving, we're freaking the hell out. And her freaking brother, bro, her little brother, he was secretly watching us, ran out, and told his parents that we were summoning demons. When I tell you I've never seen some parents more mad, they busted into that RV so fast. And yeah, haven't seen him since. This mascara's fire, by the way. And this is why 12-year-old me was never invited to things.
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, my beautiful wife. And I said, anything else for you today? And he said, no, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me? And I said, sure, what are you looking for? And he said, do you have anything that says girlfriend? And I said, yes. And he said, perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1 year anniversary to go with it? And I said, yes. And he said, perfect, I'll take it. So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in there.
Hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. It does help support us, and let's know what videos you guys want to see.